a new 2,000 investors to mint SBAD, it means that you will have the revenue share from these 2,000 minted SBADs and from others as well, right? So it is the possibility for you to get benefit from it. And Jin is perfectly right. It is the revenue share. What does it mean? It is very fair model, because usually when we talk about the dividends and when we talk about the startups, you need to spend a years to company to be profitable, right? To get the dividends from the operations. But in the case of revenue share, it means that you will definitely will get their dividends from all the revenue that is generating. It is not the profit, it is the revenue. For example, if company Soulbound ID through their KYC and verification through the SBAD will earn, for example, $1 million, right? 20%, it is $200,000, we will allocate for the holders of SLX security token from the revenue, right? It doesn't matter how much we spend, it is from the revenue. So it is very fair enough. It means that each quarter you will get their dividends based on your amount of the security tokens in your portfolio, because it doesn't matter, we'll mint one SBAD per quarter or 1 million, anyway, you will have the revenue share from this. And based on your support, on your activity, if you currently participating in this webinar, if you will share it, if you will explain it to your friend, and if you will attract more attention, we will more faster reach this amount of 1 million SBAD minted, and it means that you will have additional bonuses because you hold SLX security token. You will have their profit share from each sold SBAD. And it is very important for our community. And how I can get the SLX security token? By Solby utility token, right? That is currently available in CoinZ.
I think it's what we call this model for our community, it's MLCI. The opportunity of people to become co-owners of the company which they represent, to have opportunity to promote the products and become entrepreneur, and also to have or being the client of the company which they promote and become a co-owner of. And this is very powerful concept of MLCI, driven by new economic evolution of the world, where people would be co-owners of the old promising and interesting, moving forward, relevant companies in the world. It gives every single person who now participating in this offering really last chance to jump in. The reason why I'm saying this last chance, because we are today on the 23rd of August. At the CoinZ back office, there is still an option where people can go and buy Solby token. You can go and you can have a look and go right now. You will see there is opportunity to buy from as little as $1 to up to 100,000. And anybody who's buying today having the fastest opportunity to convert this token to SLX in the future. So for me, it's definitely a no-brainer model where people have an opportunity to promote something and to be part of something which usually in traditional business only big investors would have been. If you look at the traditional way of running investment and running the businesses, usually the offering like this, they don't go to general public. Usually there are a few guys with the big pockets who are happy to invest. And I'm sure there were lots of people who were keen to just go and give money and sponsor the technology. But idea, it's not just about the technology itself, it's about people, users who will use this technology. So I think if we ask, and let's run a test, Jim, the question for you, who do you prefer? One big investor with the money, or lots of small micro investors with half of the money of big investor, and why?
That's a very good question. And by looking at our traction, you already know the answer. Again, we as sto3 we have been bootstrapping the whole journey. We haven't got any VC rounds, even though we had a number of potential interests and much interest. But when you talk about, when you promote tokenization and when you promote community-driven businesses, you have to walk the talk, right? You have to be an example. I don't think it's a good manner when you sell one thing and then you sell Androids and you buy iPhone, right? That's not good. So, that's cheeky. So we are on the way of community-driven businesses, and we at Starbucks, we have tokenized ourselves in the very beginning. Our company is structured in US. We put our shares on the blockchain rails, distributed between the team, between the founders first, then between the team. There's a number of investors that have joined. We know we know at what specific price how we evaluate our company, and we see how it grows. So of course the question is the community oriented, but there's also very important aspect to be mentioned, is that we're not just looking on how we would benefit the most, because probably tokenization is not the best business if you want a short-term benefits, because that's a never existing business, right? That was a never existing story. And when we started it, very few people understood what it's all about. I mean, literally, you can name them, all these people. And we started the journey. And of course, we invest and we devote ourselves to this. But this, again, there's a very important concept I would like to mention, is the trading of this. It's the secondary trading, because usually when a small business starts and then the big investors go in the beginning, it takes some time for the exit to happen, right? With the startups, it might be in 7, 8, 12 years. Some companies may take even longer before someone may be able to sell their position, to exit from the business. But whereas the tokenization, you can say that the secondary market is more or less on the start, because you do the security token offering and then you put it on, and that's another product that we've built. We've built a secondary market for security tokens, purely decentralized, which means that our people, our investors and our clients, not just, give out the tokens and distribute them and wait until something happens in the future, like an IPO, right? But you would allow to trade those tokens, meanwhile the company grows. And this is exactly what's going to happen with SLX, because there's a limited amount of tokens which will be sold, converted, distributed, no matter where, but they will be on the people's hands. And then once that is done, and we're talking about what, next quarter, we will put them on the secondary trading, and the people will have an ability to liquidate their positions or to buy more, or a new people may enter just by passing this compliance part, the solving, and buying the position. So we take a more or less a liquid asset, like a company's shares. They're more or less liquid, because take the shares in the paper form and try to sell it. It will have hard time finding a match. But we take in a liquid asset, and by using the technology and best practices and the knowledges and the know-how, we make it the most liquid asset. How more liquid can you have when by tapping in your mobile phone or using your laptop and buying more or selling more. And you're not just using it, doing this with whatever NFTs or cryptocurrency, which has no value, but you do it with the real shares in a compliant, regulated manner. And it's accompanied with the legal terms that actually legally says that you as a token holder own this. It's not just a token, it's the position in the company, which is legally binding, which can be traded within a few seconds. 24/7, 365 days. And of course, when you look at this as it drives us. It drives us as entrepreneurs. That's probably why we're here for the last 5 years, doing, I don't want to say same thing, different day, but different things, different day in one agenda called tokenization. But that's what drives us. And yes, and the ability to, first of all, tokenize an asset and create a secondary market, whatever is illiquid, you create a liquidity. And again, if you look today at how we all manage, like Ross is somewhere in Spain, you're in Europe, I'm in Malta, and we're all speaking together about the same business. The chemistry of the business today's environment, with the people, flying all over the places, having communities from around the world, being able to do their business completely online, it actually makes the demand for the money to be as fast and as travelable as you are, right? You should not depend on on the one place, because we live in a very vibrant world. We don't know what happens tomorrow, so we have to move around where where we find life better. But it's very difficult to bring the capital with you unless it's put on a new rails. This new rails is exactly what we built. So the technology, the blockchain, and the trading. So you need to, there's something happens, you need to sell. You sell it straight away. You move to another city, you move to another continent, you start from there. So that concept is, I think, it corresponds to the new changes of the world itself in a very positive way. So there was even not a question which way we're gonna go. Definitely this way. It's the only way.
The only way forward.
Right.
Well, actually, you mentioned about secondary market, and just to outline this to our listeners, that's actually for us when we decided to launch a GFST on the platform as sto3, it was one of the biggest selling points, because you don't want to create a security token just to be locked in like back office of the company. So when investors are coming, you want to have the certain infrastructure, certain development, when you know that this is going to be updated, always compliant, that there is going to be entire team who look after. And for us, it was not possible to sustain this offering just using our back office, let's say. It would completely lose its potential. So that's why having this possibility of the secondary market for security tokens, guys, only like this, it actually means massively, because I challenge you, if you go and try to find some of the platforms which can offer something similar, you will be very tired of trying to find one. There are only few platforms in the world who even do launch STO tokens on exchange, but you will not find a platform which can start it from advisory and finishing by putting the platform customization, initial offering, smart contract, secondary market, and so much more. So many other offering and service sto3 provided us with. So therefore, we are proudly launching this, our token, GFST token, in this September. In traditional, world, if it would have taken us, like hundreds of thousands of dollars invested into the development, so many people, lots of stuff. It's really big chunk of work, guys, are outsourced. And I think that only this alone means that, whatever the technology is sto3 providing us with and equipping us with, this is something is definitely going to be a long-term for running long-term business. And I like what Ross said about mixing the community. So just think about it. You guys have opportunity to become co-owner of the token, which you still would need to have if you're planning to participate in GFST, because you cannot participate in GFST without having a SOBI ID. So this is like your passport. If you don't have the passport, then you're not able to participate. So sooner or later, you would still need to access your back office if you want to participate in a share drop maybe, or if you wanted to buy extra token for yourself, you still need to go through this road. But why to wait until the price will be much more higher, when today you can participate in exclusive terms? And having this